Oh, Jacob, it stinks so. Oh, Jacob, it stinks so bad like marijuana.
Trippers like Jordan on the Escalade. Got a pound of dope, girl, if you wanna play. You can let your head out while the AC blow. Let it down before you get in. I just need to know.
Oh my god, it smells like marijuana. Oh my goodness.
Oh god damn.
That's too much fun.
That's awesome.
I'm glad we can do this.
Recording live for the first time. DL Cast.
In the laundry room!
Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Tell your friends and their friends. And
if you know Cody, tell him happy birthday every time you see him, because you only get one. Happy birthday, motherfucker.
Thanks, Broham.
It's 11:15.
Smooth. That's smooth.
If that's what you call that.
What's up, man?
Not too much.
Haven't seen you all week.
Yeah, it's been quite a busy week.
Yeah?
Normally not so busy.
Yeah.
There was one time in my life that I was pretty busy, but lately it seems like I have a lot of free time.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I still work, 50 some hours.
Right.
So, fucking crazy.
So, as you can see, we recently, well, mostly Joe here, put all of this together so that we could be broadcasting live here. So, if you got any comments, any suggestions, throw them down in the bottom so we can hear how to improve on this, because this technically is this is our first podcast.
Well, yeah, thanks for driving. Thanks for taking the drive.
Yeah. Don't worry, you'll have to do the same.
Yes, I will. Yes, it's been quite a week in here in the old laundry room, aka the Beat Lab.
The Beat Lab. Yep.
According to my kids.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been one hell of a week. Made it through 5 books.
Yeah. So that's.
I once thought of myself of a real fucking dummy at one time.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought I was not gonna be able to learn anything because I couldn't read well. Like, I could read but not comprehend, so that first page is always like...
It's not like the normal person where, like myself, like, when I read, like, I find myself wandering. I can read, but then after a paragraph or so, and I start thinking about tomorrow or whatever.
Right, so I've been doing these audio books, and I really think those really, really well-read people out there that can read real well, I want to find one. I want to have them on here.
Yeah?
Yeah. I listened to a dude read, and it seemed like nonstop for 10.5 hours. He read out loud. Can anybody listen to anything for 10.5 hours?
Obviously the content was good enough to do.
This motherfucker can. Yes. The 48 laws of power. And, you have to have the mindset to make it through that book.
I would say
like that book is fucking powerful.
If it was 10.5 solid hours of somebody reading, it would take me forever to read.
I was thinking the same thing. I probably read Dr. Seuss. I can make it through here. Let me give you a little reference. The Wild Things. Papa Bear. A few Papa Bears. Definitely Night Before Christmas. But I butched all the words. My 4-year-old can do that shit. So she's like, I don't think so, Dad.
She knows that
I don't think that's the way
it's not right.
To her, it didn't sound right.
Yeah.
So I'm just so glad my kids are educated. A lot more than me at this time. So I'm gonna do what my parents didn't do.
I would say,
isn't that what we do?
Right. Well, you always try and do better, right?
Oh, definitely.
So I would say I would say this is an interesting dynamic that we've known each other for over 10 years.
For one, I didn't. Happy birthday, Cody. I just want to make sure that everybody knows I really appreciate this guy. And I figured
mouth was open, motherfuckers.
it's all. I thought Dooley's slobber on that mic was pretty sweet, but
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, happy birthday.
Thanks, buddy.
What do you give a guy that buys himself whatever he pleases? Some
Obviously, you fucking silly string the fuck out of him.
right, silly string the fuck out of him. So happy birthday, Cody.
Thanks.
One more time. 31, everybody. Single. He's kind of like a totaled car.
At least give me the restored one that has the sticker on the side.
That's where I
In
was
the door
going.
jam.
That's where I was going. He's not quite a rolled over, twice rebuilt, once on fire, straight out of Louisiana after Katrina.
After the floods.
He is not that mentally unstable.
Thanks,
but
buddy.
I do have to say you've probably been in a car versus truck situation. Once married, once divorced. So,
Yeah,
are you going to go down that road again?
My odds are good. No, probably
No,
not.
probably not. Yeah,
Probably not.
I just think it's kind of, it's a piece of paper. So,
I once heard somebody talk about marriage as in kind of gets goofy when you involve the government in your marriage,
yeah.
and it made that saying made perfect sense to me. So I've known plenty of couples. There was one in particular down in Lewiston, good family friends. They were together for over 17 years. They just recently. So I mean, you don't need to get married in order to have a successful.
I think it's at one time it was awesome, but in a lot of situations around the world, let's get this straight. Not in America does this silly shit happen, but there is some places if you're not married, you're a whore. Like you fuck
yeah.
for money.
Yeah.
So glad it's not like that in America where
Yeah.
you're like, bitch, cover your face. Don't drive that car. You're walking and you ain't going to work.
You're not going to work. You're not going to school.
Yeah, I'm so glad we're not there. I'm a man, but fuck, man. I have respect for one another.
Yeah.
Hey, black, white, brown, yellow. I don't give a flying fuck. Women, man, because that's about all
There's
you.
respect.
No crazy cyborgs yet.
You're
That
jumping
shit's-
around. I'm gonna start
yeah.
calling you Jones Jr.
Yeah, well, that shit scares me.
Take it easy.
Jones Jr.
Take it easy before
Yeah.
we start going down
So
that road.
I want to know what book. What book are you reading?
So I before we jump into that, I do want to say that it's an interesting dynamic that I've known you for over 10 years, and I feel like I have been what others would consider a more well-read person. I don't read a lot, but I would say I read probably more than you.
Right.
This last week, this motherfucker talks to me about a problem that he's having with his daughter, and said something about, oh, yesterday when I was reading The Art of War.
I quoted some lines.
And then he quoted parts of the book, and I'm like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
Who are you?"
Yeah.
I want to say that that's awesome.
Do you know how big your
I-
mind is?
I wanna-
You don't know until you start digging.
I want to say that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
you're
awesome.
welcome.
that
You're welcome.
yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what book you're reading so
Yeah.
I can finish it tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
So
well,
I'm reading The Millionaire Next Door.
The Millionaire Next Door. That's what I told my daughter on Friday. So
So
I'm gonna nail that one out tomorrow morning or Monday morning
Yeah.
before lunch.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And
And I've been reading it for 2 weeks. Yeah. I need to get onto the audiobook program.
Well, I mastered my craft,
Yeah.
so it really
I have not. Not to mention mine involves talking with people.
like I could go to work and replace a frame rail and straighten a car, and do it correctly by every step, and read a book.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. You could also go to work and not have to talk to a single person all day long.
I do. Well, I do. I have to pause these books every now and then.
Oh, okay.
Let's get it straight. Watched every single episode of Joe Rogan.
Well, let's not go that far. I think
So-
there's like
so-
1,200 or
Right,
some
well,
shit like that.
Okay, maybe I haven't. But if you like, I went on my data, seen how long I was on YouTube.
I bet.
It's fucking like 10 hours a day.
I bet. Yeah, that's incredible.
Oh, by the way, I got rid of Pandora. Was almost the best thing in my life. I got rid of Pandora. So, 20 years of doing collision repair, man. I think I have a master's degree in rap. Definitely rap psychology.
Still can't
I
sing
may-
an entire fucking rap song.
No, but I do know this the I do know what's going on in every song. I can
I
follow.
would hope so.
A lot of my life, I've sat there daydream. This is what I would do: put on Ricky Ross, and I would just pretend I am on a yacht,
course.
shooting pirates.
Yeah.
How fucking crazy is that? Like, have a fucking yacht full of coke, shoot them like coyotes,
It's
like out of an airplane.
It's
Then
like,
land that shit back on my yacht and fucking hit golf balls and shoot them with shotguns and shit. Just,
We-
I would have some really detailed daydreams. No lie.
we all have our different fantasies that we listen to when we're listening to music. It's just that was a very detailed one.
Well, I can mentally go there. Like when we got in those fucking pods
Yeah,
just a couple weekends ago, hit up the float.
yeah, float session.
Yeah, definitely do that. I fucking can go out 5 minutes.
Gone.
Unless you put salt in my eye and turn the lights off. This motherfucker was blind as I might as well. So I can sonar the how close I am to the wall, you know? Yeah, I finally found the light. But once I got in that thing again, I was gone. Fucking gone.
We should talk about that experience. Just
I was gone, man.
the first. Hold on, let's go into that. Okay, so the first 15 minutes.
So the first 15 minutes to an hour session, I did everything they told me not to do.
And your eyes were burning.
For whomever that hasn't been in a pod before, it is, I don't know, a ton of Epsom salt. I can't float. I got like 1%. Not gonna brag. This ain't bragging, motherfuckers, because I can't put weight on. But I got probably like 2% body fat. Let's get it straight.
Yeah,
I don't float.
yeah,
My feet sink and then I follow them.
right.
Like
Like there's enough Epsom salt in there that anybody
anybody
floats.
can float.
And it's
And
only
I,
12 inches of water.
dude, I couldn't seem to put my head back. Like I got my ears covered and never covered my face again. Again.
They have those little neck deals that'll keep your head afloat.
Yes,
you're
if
having
you
an
got
issue
a
with
if you
that.
got a heavy head,
Yeah.
I guess that's the way you can go. So anyways, I was in there after I got salt in my eyes, and I didn't bring a wet cloth. I didn't do anything they told me to do. I stumbled out, shut the lights off, jumped back in that pod, and I went fucking gonzo. Seen a red. What was it? Because I told.
A
Here's
red
the
Ford
here's the
Buick.
deal about daydreams. If you don't tell anybody right away,
Yep,
you're gonna lose it.
they float
You're gonna
away.
lose it.
Yeah.
Right. And then you'll have flashbacks or whatever. I'm not crazy. I don't have I can tune into the next dimension easily. It was a crew cab Ford
Crew
Was it
cab Ford
red? with
dually.
it, and it had a canopy on it.
Mm-hmm.
Smashed into a porch.
Yep.
What the lady do? Tell me.
I don't remember.
Was she
man.
calling 911 and I heard the operator at the same time?
I don't remember.
I think it was something along those lines of where I heard both sides of the conversation when she was on the phone. It was pretty intense. It was pretty intense.
I also
Like, no, it was snowing. Like, this truck was like your t-shirt. You know what I mean? So they was very colorful.
right.
And this was
Vivid.
completely sober. Silver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
It was an experience. I also had, I didn't rub my eyes with salt
no.
like you, but I did. I went to lean my head back, and that's when I realized that I forgot to put the earplugs in. So then I had to open the pod back up, get back out, turn the light back on, and then put the earpieces in, and then climb back in. But that was my only issue that I had. Luckily,
I couldn't. Oh yeah, when I got all done, I got out of that thing. I couldn't figure out the light switch. Couldn't turn it on, but I knew where the shower was.
yeah.
So I found the shower and I turned it on because
In the darkness.
You feel gross.
Yeah.
I did anyways.
Yeah. It's all slimy and shit.
And then my brother-in-law called me. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. And I'm not in a name drop, but Stephen Kirk. Sorry, I didn't come pull you out of a snowbank you purposely put yourself into. That was my bad, because once I got out of there, the visuals were so bad, I didn't give a two flying fucks. I had to tell you
Yeah.
about what I seen, not the conversation I had on the telephone. So,
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't save you. Mr. fucking Duramax in a big block Chevy and a square body couldn't get himself out. So, kind of figured that was. Oh, by the way, you know how he got out? Let's get on another little subject. He put his truck in 4-low, locked up, granny low. No, reverse. Got out of it while all 4 tires were sitting there just spinning in the snow. He went and jumped in his Duramax. Pulled himself out with the Duramax. Somehow ran on icy roads back to the square body before it ran into his Duramax.
That's impressive.
That was impressive.
That's
when
very
I heard
impressive.
that, I was thinking, why didn't you get your 411 girl to drive the Duramax? But I quickly remembered why he did it all by himself. He would have wrecked both trucks. So he's one of those guys that
Should have got nervous and accidentally hit the wrong pedal.
Dude,
and-
I go, hey, Steven, how you gonna fix that? Duct tape? And he goes, fuck no. Super glue and electrical tape. I can fix anything.
Mhm.
So I tried that one time and I failed miserably. I called him up and I go, get over here and fucking do some rednecking, because that's what he calls it. He calls it rednecking. His old truck's redneck. I go, come over here and get this redneck done. I don't want to spend any money. Fuck, dude. Somehow he used super glue and electrical tape and fixed my problem. And it still holds today.
Somehow.
Somehow. It was insane. Anyways, I answered the phone and I got out of the shower and I went right over to Cody. And they have like this little lounge.
Mhm. And I was like, hey, I had been sitting there for like 10 minutes. Already out, showered and everything, just sitting there waiting.
Oh, that's how long you were out?
Yeah, I even texted.
How long was that lady
I
in
even
there?
texted you, and then she walked in like
Right before I did?
yeah, right before.
Yeah.
Like she just sat down when you came walking in, and so yeah, I didn't even get a chance to introduce myself or anything like that. And you came walking in, I was like,
I had to tell her. I wrote in that book.
Yeah.
I wrote my story in that book.
that's right. No, she came in after you went to the bathroom and then came back, and then that's when we started talking. But
I went right to that book and I wrote it down.
what did
And I wrote my name.
what did somebody say? Don't fart in the.
Oh, don't fart in the pod. Don't fart in the pod. That's what I read.
Why would you do that?
That would ruin your thing.
Yeah, especially if you have the door closed.
So I'm gonna go grab another drink because I don't feel like I should drink all of that.
Whiskey.
Well, it's not even 12 o'clock. But in Montana it is.
Right.
But let me hit the fridge.
Yeah.
Tell them about that lady. I'll
Yeah.
be right back.
All right.
Yeah, she was trip.
Yeah, she was that. So that was quite an experience. I'm gonna side note and talk about my experience real quick. After I started slipping off into my meditation, I literally felt like I was floating in the universe. I mean, it was, and then all of a sudden I started seeing things like I've seen other people describe on when they were on psychedelics.
Yeah.
And I was stone cold sober, floating in meditation. That's the first time that I ever meditated, and that it was a trip. It was crazy where my mind went, because I literally had a blank slate, and I felt like I was floating in outer space, just literally suspended in the middle of the galaxy.
Really?
It was some interdimensional.
I go there when I listen to music and read books while I'm working.
That's crazy. Yeah.
No. I'm not crazy.
That's why I said that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. But
yes, you are crazy.
Maybe. But I don't take nothing.
So we're sitting there in this room, and this lady comes walking in.
Oh, you didn't talk about her?
No, not yet. So we started talking to her about her experiences from
North Idaho, Athol area.
Yeah,
I believe
out by Silverwood.
Yeah.
Said that it took her
6 hours.
6 times of going to these.
Relax. She was that high strung. And as far as edibles and mushrooms, I think if you can't get there, just like this lady, because that's what, she admitted to us.
Yeah.
If you can't get there, don't try to get there. You may not be stable enough to go there and come back.
You mean on psychedelics or
just edibles? Some people, if they it may be a little too much for some people. Let's just put it. It may be a little too much, and then at like just meditation period, and then if they try to get there without any good experiences pre-pod on THC, LSD, LSDB, psilocybin. If you try them for your first time in that pod, you would probably come out of there and maybe not be back to the same person ever again. Because you're floating. It feels like you're upright. That's why I'm saying if that's your first time, don't do it in there. Because you will...
Yeah,
mushrooms change your mind anyways. You get to where it's like, why is the grass growing?
Well, things.
You know what I mean?
Things are also moving that aren't moving.
You really start. You look around your house and you're like, why did I buy that? That is stupid and pointless. Why am I spending all this money? It's pointless. So that's what it does to me. It makes me really analyze my life. Like
which is a good thing.
Which is a great thing. And then I like the feeling. This sounds really funny. I really like feeling anxiety. I think that's really fun. I like.
Is that why you have so much anxiety?
Yeah, I think it's fun. My heart rate. My heart rate
gives you that rush.
What else is there? There's another one that really fucking anxiety. Adrenaline.
Well, yeah.
Those two things.
Yeah.
Those two things right there.
I feel
Dude,
like they probably are similar in what they do to your body.
I fucking get off on that shit, but it's all natural. Like right. I'm not going to go out of my way and take, MDH, ecstasy.
Oh.
I'm not going to go out of my way and flood my endorphins with a drug.
Sure.
I can mentally do that to myself, and it's fucking strange. But I like that because I'm hyper.
That's like a key.
I want to know everything.
That's like a key to a door that you can unlock that most people can't,
right.
though.
And it's fucking crazy, and I love it. I live my life like that every day. To be super productive at work, I have to be paranoid.
Really?
Doesn't that sound weird?
Yeah. That is strange.
Like, that gives me that hyper sense of what I'm doing. When I fix a car, when I started, it was not easy. My dad had some giant shoes to fill, and everybody I worked with God damn, you're Dorian's son. You should already know this and this and that. And it was really tough.
You had
Yes.
big shoes to fill.
Big shoes
He
to
did-
fill
he
at
didn't-
work.
you
Oh,
didn't,
dude,
yeah.
this guy is a fucking stud.
Oh yeah.
65 GTO in 1966. He was that guy. You know what I mean? Tri-power, big
Shout out
horsepower,
to Greg.
big car.
He's a stud.
He is a stud. He fucking bought. And this is even crazier. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get some sort of thing with him. Hagedon from Coeur d'Alene, that that owns the resort.
Right.
He ordered a one-off white on white 1978 Porsche 998. So it had a turbo option that you can boost up or boost down with a 6-speed. He said that was the fastest car he's ever put together. It also took him 5 years, and he gathered a ton of debt because the car was so expensive. He got it on a total loss.
Hagedon bought it new
Hagedon ordered this car from Germany.
and then totaled it.
It came to Portland. Portland's owner's son took it out on a demo, a test drive, and fucking rolled it. Yeah.
And that's how your dad.
Let's get in a little side note. If anybody's ever driven a Porsche, it's rear heavy. You want to dive into a corner. Let's say you're first coming out, or second, especially in a car like that. You're probably doing 90 miles an hour, and you got this thing fucking tacked up. You dive on the brakes to set the nose for the turn, and then once you get a car like that churning, you start laying on the power. So you start doing a rear steer corner. You don't front end heavy cars like to dive through the corner. These things push. So if you don't set that front end, you're gonna push the corner.
Flying off the outside.
Charger, Challenger, anything in the 70s. My Torino outside does the same thing. If I were to dive in the corner without setting the car first for the corner, it's just gonna go straight.
Yeah.
Same with a Porsche, but they're really light, so you got to dump on them to dive the nose
Break the
and
nose,
pinch.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Anyways, my dad got a hold of it in a salvage auction. Owed like fucking everybody that he knew. He owed money to, so he had to get rid of the car, and that car just crossed the auction block at like 1.5.
Holy shit.
He also had another car, a 59 Austin Healey. Once he cut the floor out of it to make it a drag car, he found out it went across the blocks at like 125,000. He quit working on the car.
That
Dude,
was-
bro,
that-
he
that
gave
was-
the fucking car away. He was that depressed.
It was okay. So let's back up here. I've seen that car, or I saw that car.
Right, it was hanging
It was
on the ceiling.
hanging
Yes.
from the rafters of
Rafters.
his shop.
Yeah. Because
Gave it away.
yeah, because he watched it go across one of those auctions. A Barrett Jackson.
Full.
A Barrett Jackson. An original.
A full car.
What he had, an original 1959 Austin Healey.
Right.
Right.
What your dad?
Yeah. That thing was bitching. We did fucking. He popped a wheelie and broke the nose off, or broke the tail off of it.
I only seen the chassis hanging from the rafters.
Well, it's
never
aluminum.
saw it completed.
In 1959, that fucking thing was an aluminum car. He put a small block Chevrolet into it.
Like a unibody, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Aluminum. So we tubbed it so it was a 3-seater because the third seat sat between tires and
Sick.
super sick. Anyways, he's a great guy. I love the man to death, but when I went to work, it was a struggle.
Because of that.
Yeah, and
But also
it really made me
also
work
made
hard.
you into who you are now.
Well, yeah, that and a few bad bosses.
Well, yeah. I mean, that would force you to.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I failed a test at SCC and I ended up having to pay for it out of my pocket. It was like $400. Yeah. Because I didn't think that I was able to get there mentally. I can't pass a test. I've never passed a test. I have a diploma and never passed a test in high school. So,
I mean, so one thing that I was talking with somebody about recently is the power of positive thinking.
oh, I'm there.
And there's I can't don't quote me on this, but it's something like whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right.
Oh yeah.
So
You
That's-
want me to quote a book?
fucking do.
The 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah.
So when they tell you the law, they describe the law, and then they give you a story about the law. One of them was hold on, that's that anxiety. I'm freaked out.
What you thrive off of.
Yeah. Was it Christopher Columbus that came across to the
Yes.
United States?
Yep.
His here's what you don't know. His dad sold cheese in a fucking wine bar dispensary. This is way in the old 1800s.
Like
He-
1400s.
He believed in himself that he was of royalty. He believed it.
He was a fucking cowboy.
Right. So he
Christopher
left.
Columbus
He
was a
left.
cowboy.
He left. Tricked a bunch of people into thinking he was more than just a cheese man's son.
Right.
And from then he married a princess. Still didn't give up on his goals. He was gonna find somebody that would give him some ships to sail, and he did.
Fund his
Fund his
discovery.
fund his journey.
Right.
He did. Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm still a dummy. She did the first one. He wanted 10% of any land that was discovered, but in the fine print, he didn't get jack fuck. So
So read the fine print.
read the
please.
fine print, but that was it. So you know what? If you believe in your heart that you're something, you can go for it and succeed.
You'll make it.
Right. Yeah. So
By the way, that was
I think
Joe quoting a book right there, which I never thought that I'd hear in my
I
entire
actually
life.
think it's an hour and 27 minutes
On-
into the audio book of 28 Laws of Power. 48. Anyways. Yeah, so with that said, I had to be that guy. I had to expand my mind. Lately, I have done more than past, but a few bad bosses. I've made some bad decisions. I've done some stupid things. I've looked for money. When you quit looking for money, guess what? Money shows up. So
Shows up.
I fucking quit. I was like, I'm done on this money thrive. I've worked for some real fuck faces. I've gone through some bad shit. A lot of stupid shit's happened, and I'm happy where I'm at. I found somebody that actually enjoys me, leaves me alone, doesn't second guess me. And when he does, nope. Not only do I tell him why not, I tell him the customer, I tell him the insurance company. I also show him documents of what Ford, Chevy, Nissan, Dodge, Infiniti, Porsche, Tesla, fucking you name it. I can show you where and what it says to each manufacturer. I'll quote it first and then find that motherfucker. So he doesn't second guess me after the third time.
So you, like, obviously doing this for 20 years, you have become well established in your trade.
Yeah, so now I space off into outer space and listen to these books.
And you
And
can
don't tell me it's not reading, because I can't read, but
didn't
I
say
can.
it's not.
I'm a
just-
great listener.
I think it's impressive.
I'm a great listener. You want to
Yeah.
hit that door? I just want to see DL Cast, and all my little children showed up. There's only 3, all right?
Yep. So they'll be storming in here any second.
Oh, I'm without a doubt. I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
They're going to be here. So with that said, that's enough with me. I'm going to read your book,
Yeah.
and I'm going to tell you how it ends.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
You're a dick.
One
I would
last time. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You can let him in. I'd rather him not be crying. Yeah. Give me a kiss. Mwah.
You want to wrap that up for the first one?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Say bye. Say bye.
Hit like, give us some comments, give us some feedback, let us know what you thought. Our first one, so
Happy birthday.
thanks, man. Don't forget to hit subscribe.